everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Bears from the Couch. More like a love seat in my basement. Back home in Belvedere because I have been exposed to the coronavirus. I have no symptoms as of right now. I have been tested, so I'm hoping to hear a good word back from that test and get a negative result. So that's why I'm in Belvedere with my little makeshift set that I got going on right now. But let's talk about Sunday's unfortunate game against the Colts. The Bears lost 19-11. I don't know. I wasn't that happy with the game. It was just a very overall boring game. Probably the worst offensive game we've seen since Green Bay of Week 1 in 2019. Foles finished with 250 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Robinson had 7 receptions for 101 yards and a touchdown. Mooney, who was becoming a big piece of our offense, 5 receptions for 52 yards and more targets. I think he had about 8 targets. So our 4th round pick, Darnell Mooney, the speedster, number 11, is becoming a big piece of the offense. Defensively, Brent Urban had our only sack. Probably most of you are asking who Brent Urban is. He's the tall white dude, number 92. And then Roquan Smith had 13 combined tackles. So those are the stats. Some of my takeaways from the game: Foles, Nagy, and then Foles and the receivers. They're just not lined up yet. I mean, the combo was off. Everything was off about the offensive performance. And I've seen a lot of people on Twitter freaking out. I just want to say I am not overly worried about that right now. Got to think about it. Foles really hasn't started much football in the last 2 years. He was injured in Jacksonville with his collarbone, and he sat the first 3 games this year. I think everybody was just expecting him to come out firing because that's what he did in Atlanta, but people didn't realize Colts are a really good defense. They are a slept-on team. DeForest Buckner, Darius Leonard, Malik Hooker, they have really, really good players. Rock Ya-Sin. So you could just tell that the offense wasn't clicking. Foles and Nagy have to get it right, and then Foles has to get his timing right with the receivers. Another thing I noticed about the offense, our run game was so predictable. The Colts were pretty much just daring us to run the ball into Justin Houston and DeForest Buckner, and we were. It was all inside runs, all inside zones, and they were just tearing us up. They were tearing our defensive line apart. So the run game needs to stop being a little less predictable. And then I thought the defense did well, only 107 yards rushing on 35 carries. But the only complaint I had was it just felt like the Colts won every single contested catch. That was a 50-50 ball, and our DBs weren't making plays on it. And that's not our defensive backs. You know, Kyle Fuller, Jalen Johnson's very physical, Eddie Jackson's physical, Tashawn Gibson's physical. So I didn't like that our DBs were getting out-muscled. But let's move on to tonight's matchup. You know, we got a little special Thursday video coming for you guys because the Bears played the Bucs tonight, Thursday Night Football at around like 7:15 kickoff, I believe. It's a Super Bowl 52 rematch between Brady and Foles, so that's huge. Foles won that, and he got Super Bowl MVP. Nobody's seen that coming. But both the Bears and the Bucs are 3-1 on the year, but the Bucs are the favorite by 4.5 points on the road. So the Bucs are heavily favored here, and that's big. That's a big spread on the road. But Chris Godwin, LaShawn McCoy are both out tonight, and Leonard Fournette is doubtful for tonight's game. But they also have 120 points in 4 games, which is 30 points per game, which ranks 8th in the NFL. So I'm going to give you some of my keys to the game for tonight's game. Stuff the run game. They have a great back in Ronald Jones. I like Ronald Jones a lot. I think he's very talented. But the rest of the backfield is beat up. Leonard Fournette is obviously hurting. He might play tonight, but I doubt it. And LaShawn McCoy is out. So every time Ronald Jones runs the ball, make him pay for it and tire him out. And then my second key to tonight's game, don't be so predictable in the run game. Run out to the tackles. They have the number 2 rushing defense in the league. Hit the off tackles, hit some jet sweeps, and then that's where you torch them with the inside zone. When they're thinking it's coming on the jet sweep, or we're thinking that we're going off tackle, that's where you hit the inside. So stop making the run game so predictable, Matt Nagy. The Colts knew where we were going every single time we ran the ball last week. And then there's no Chris Godwin tonight, but do not put all the focus on Mike Evans, because when you do that and you put all the focus on Mike Evans, Scotty Miller is going to torch you deep. So, you know, Evans is definitely their number 1 by far tonight. Like, he is their biggest threat offensively, but you can't put all your focus on him defensively because Scotty Miller will torch you. And then my last key to the game, get the ball out quick. Tampa Bay blitzes, I think, the second most in the league behind Pittsburgh. Todd Bowles is known for sending blitz packages constantly. So get the ball out quick. Hit good, high percentage throws, short down the field. Like, we don't need to be in the pocket all day, just slinging the rock 40 yards every play. Just dump downs, whatever. Whatever we got to do to move the ball consistently and just get an offense going, because we had no idea of how we were going to be able to do that last week against the Colts. But yeah, that's going to wrap up my episode for tonight. I'm sorry it was short, not the best situation for me in my basement right now, but I'm going to give you my prediction. I got Bucs 32, Bears 27. That Bucs offense is good. Tom Brady is still good. And I don't know if Matt Nagy and Nick Foles have figured it out quite yet together, that they're going to be able to keep up offensively with the Bucs. But I said the same thing about Atlanta, so you never know. But like I said, that's going to wrap up tonight's episode. Go Bears, and tune in tonight for Thursday Night Football on NFL Network and Fox 39.